October is Sudden Cardiac Arrest Awareness Month, and it strikes people of all ages who seem healthy, even kids.
Yeah, according to the American Heart Association, 23,000 kids suffer from the heart condition every year. In today's What's Going Around, DC News Now's anchor Chris Flanagan is sitting down with a pediatrician with Prince George's County about the warning signs parents need to look out for.
Dr. Hancock, what is cardiac arrest, and is it different from a heart attack?
Chris, those are excellent questions. So a heart attack is when there's blockage of blood flow through the coronary blood vessels. Those are the arteries that give blood directly to the heart muscle. When there's a blockage, tissue dies, and then we end up having what's called a heart attack, where the muscle just starts to die, heart can't function. That can lead to sudden cardiac arrest, but having a heart attack isn't a requirement for sudden cardiac arrest. Sudden cardiac arrest is simply an abnormal electrical impulse in the heart that affects the heart's ability to beat.
You might see a young, healthy athlete appears to be healthy who suffers from sudden cardiac arrest. What are some warning signs?
The first is looking at personal history, right? Does this student athlete have a history of significant exertion when they exercise outside of their norm? Have they ever felt lightheaded or passed out on the field? Have they ever felt like their heart was beating abnormally, fast, or with an abnormal rhythm? All of those are important. The second is family history, knowing whether or not there's a family member who died suddenly and no one knew the reason why, or if a family member had heart disease at an early age, earlier than the age of 55, and clearly if it's known to have a family history of an abnormal heart rhythm. All of those are critically important. And then the third component is actually coming in to see your healthcare provider and undergoing that cardiac evaluation.
Dr. Hancock, how much of an increase in sudden cardiac arrest are we seeing that perhaps is tied to COVID-19?
The link between COVID-19 and sudden cardiac arrest is real. We know that with COVID-19, it inflames heart muscle, leading to things like myocarditis. When you have inflammation of the heart muscle, which is what myocarditis means, that can impact the electrical impulse that's sent through the heart muscle to keep it beating strong and keeping ourselves healthy, right? We do know, based on evidence from the American Heart Association, from cardiology organizations, that there is a direct link between COVID-19 and increased risk of sudden cardiac arrest. We have not yet been able to quantify the percentages or the link in terms of risk, but we do know that there is an elevated risk simply because of the impact that COVID-19 has on the heart.
Dr. Hancock, terrific information as always. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.